we finally get to see you behind a wheel now. Has it made you want to learn to drive? Because you don't drive, do you?
I've always wanted to learn. Like, actually, I did learn when I was 17. And then I just became like, I just became really busy with acting, or I was like broke because I was like an out of work actor. So there was never, it's quite expensive, isn't it, to learn to drive here. So I never kind of had the time or the finances. And then it's only really in the last number of years where I've had the finances, but not necessarily had the time. And it's only like recently that I've had kind of both. So I'm going to try and do an intensive course soon.
I mean, you're surrounded by some of the best drivers in the world on this film. You could have just hit one of those guys up and been like, can we step behind the wheel of one of these supercars?
I know. Let's just take it around a soundstage in the back in the car park. Yeah, I could have done that. I'm not sure how kind of safe that is. But yeah, I definitely want to learn. But I also love that Ramsey doesn't drive either. And I think that, you know, us non-drivers need to be represented too, okay?
We're all for inclusion. Yeah, we are all for inclusion, absolutely. Speaking of that though, who, you know, every film that comes out, we see the Fast family grow. Who would you love to see welcomed into that family for the next film?
We have so many iconic people in these movies, but I think I'd love to see someone like Viola Davis, who's like such a badass. I know she's like training to play like a superhero as well. And so I would love to see her just like rock up and be like, hi, and in a sick car and just, yeah, I love her.
She's so cool as well.
She's
so
really cool.
She would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
I loved your facial expressions in the film though, because so many times, especially during the car chases, it was just this look of surprise, and I was like, is this just a genuine reaction to the whole film, or had you practiced it? Because I was like, this is how my face would be if I was in these car chases.
I do think that Ramsey kind of represents in a way, like, she's not a car girl, like she's not this person who is used to kind of explosions and car chases and guns and bullets and all of that. She's the girl that is held up somewhere in a basement or in a room in a tower block on her laptop in a dark, you know, room, like moving around on her own. So for me, I always love the fact that Ramsey kind of represents like us who are watching these sequences, because she's like, what is going on? This is crazy. Because it's crazy, like in the real, like everyone else is so cool about it all. And I definitely thought it was fun to have Ramsey just be like, what?
I would be the you in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Me too.
And before we go, what is by far, out of all the films that you've done, the coolest thing out of all of them on these films
that I've had to do? I think my favorite sequence that I've had to do was the rescue sequence in Fast 7, where I kind of got thrown out of the back of the bus onto the hood of Dom's car, and then I'm like trying to hold on and he pulls me in. That was quite a fun sequence because that was done in kind of little pieces, and it was really it was quite physically challenging. Even though I'm not doing it in moving vehicles at high speed, you know, there was a lot of kind of specific components, and it was great fun. It was really cool, and it was also one of like that sequence was also one of the last times I worked with Paul, so it was like a really lovely, like I have like fun memories of that time, and we had a lot of fun. I got to jump into a giant pit of foam like pieces, and that was really cool. I was like, James Wan was like, Nathalie, look scared, don't look like you're jumping into a ball pit like a 5-year-old. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. You know, like, you're enjoying it too much, you're scared. And I was like, oh, sorry.
I love it. Keep being that excited girl, because that's who I would be, and that's what I want to see. Thank you so much, Nathalie. Good luck with the film as well, because it's out now for everyone to see, and it's brilliant. Thank you.